Hello, 7th graders. Today we are going to talk about the main idea and supporting details in nonfiction articles. How do we decide what the main idea of a nonfiction article is? Well, watch this video to find out. So the main idea of an article is the big point or the focus of the article. Every nonfiction article has some sort of main idea that the author is trying to communicate to the reader. It's the most important concept in a nonfiction article. This main idea connects the other details together, and at the same time, the details support the main idea by giving more information about it. Think of the main idea as the heart of an article or a paragraph. The supporting details are like the veins and arteries that connect the heart to the rest of the body. But without the heart, the details would just be a tangle of nonsense throughout the rest of the body. You need a main idea to unite the details, and you need details to support the main idea and make it stronger. When you're trying to figure out what the main idea is, ask yourself, who or what is this article about? Each paragraph might have a different main idea that supports the overall main idea of an article. Many times, the main idea will be stated in the title or in the first sentence of a paragraph. It will be clear and obvious what the main idea is. Other times, it is simply implied, which means that the author gives you clues about what the main idea might be, but you have to put it in your own words and figure it out a little bit by yourself. So let's look at an example. In this paragraph, we're talking about Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls is one of the most amazing sights in North America. It is located on the Niagara River on the American and Canadian border. The American Falls is 160 feet high, and on the Canadian side, the Horseshoe Falls is 161 feet high. The combined falls form the highest flow rate of any waterfall in the world. More than 6 million cubic feet of water falls over the crest line every minute in high flow, making Niagara Falls a valuable source of hydroelectric power. Okay, so what's the main idea here? Take a second and think about it. It should be pretty obvious because it's right in the first sentence. Niagara Falls is one of the most amazing sights in North America. That is the basic idea throughout the entire paragraph. Now let's look at some of the supporting details. What details did the author use to describe this main idea of Niagara Falls or give more details about it? The sentences right after the first one tell us even more about Niagara Falls being an amazing sight. They tell us where it's located, how tall it is, and some impressive statistics about the crazy amount of water that falls over the edge each minute. It's pretty amazing. The supporting details in this paragraph and every paragraph have several jobs. 1, they tell us more information about the main idea. Instead of having the main idea just sit by itself, they give us more information, more clues about what that main idea is all about. Number 2, they support the main idea. You could go into a paragraph and make wild opinions that don't have any founding, but if you don't have details, it won't unite the whole paragraph. So a supporting detail supports that main idea and gives it more weight. And number 3, supporting details make the main idea stronger. So sometimes the main idea is stated obviously, like in the Niagara Falls paragraph, but sometimes a paragraph or article won't state directly what the main idea is. This is called an implied main idea, which means you need to state in your own words what the main idea is. Let's look at an example about when the main idea isn't quite so obvious. Native Americans in the northeastern United States used trees to build their houses. They hunted and trapped animals in the forest for food and clothing. Also, Native Americans found roots and berries they could eat. Some plants in the forest could be used for medicine as well. Alright, so what's the main idea here? The first sentence in this paragraph doesn't give you the main idea because the whole paragraph is not about Native Americans using trees for houses. It's only one sentence. So let's ask ourselves, What or who is this paragraph about? Think for a second. This paragraph is mostly talking about Native Americans, but let's get even more specific. The unifying idea is that Native Americans used resources in the forests to survive. So that is the main idea, that Native Americans in the northeastern United States used resources in the forest to survive and to live. So sometimes you have to kind of put the clues together to figure out an overarching main idea. What is holding this paragraph together as a whole? Now, one simple way to determine the main idea of a text is through a type of graphic organizer called boxes and bullets. It goes like this. After every paragraph or section of your article, if paragraphs are too short, then go with sections, take a Post-it note and write down the main idea of that passage. What do you think the main idea of that chunk of text was? Remember to ask yourself, who or what is that part of the article or the article as a whole about? What is the focus of that passage? Put that main idea at the top of your Post-it note. After you figure out the main idea on your Post-it note, add your bullets. What were the supporting details in that section that gave you more information about your main idea? Now remember, when you're trying to figure out your main idea, sometimes it might state it in a heading or a subheading or in the first sentence of a paragraph, but sometimes it might be implied, so you'll have to figure it out yourself. Once you do, add your bullets, all those details that tie back into the main idea of that section or passage. This way, you should have several Post-it notes throughout your article that will help you determine what that whole article is about as an entirety. All right, this strategy can help you track the development of a main idea throughout the article, especially if it's a cause and effect or a compare-contrast structure, which you should remember from our other blends-based video. So this strategy can help you kind of keep track of your thoughts as you read and keep track of the main idea as it develops and changes throughout the article. So let's recap. The main idea of an article or a passage is the big point or the focus, the who or what of an article. This main idea is the basic information, the basic unifying factor that the author is trying to communicate to the reader. The supporting details strengthen the main idea and give us more information about it. You can keep track of ideas and details using the boxes and bullets strategy. Now take a second before the end of this video and summarize how you would describe the boxes and bullets strategy on your note sheet. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that main idea and supporting details make sense. Get ready to come to class and practice them. Have a great night.